Hello, welcome to Pursuit of Perfect System. My name is Terry Ellis. I'm an audio reviewer and a Dirac Live Calibrator. And thank you for joining me for my Hi-Fi and AV Hot News episode 3. This is a weekly series where I discuss and have a chat for what I think are the highlights from the previous week's industry-wide news. And in this week's episode, I've got some hot news, I've got some tepid news, and I've got some sad news. Let's start with the tepid news. I'm sure you can see behind me there's been some additions to what is really my office system, which is going to be a desktop review system, and that's all coming soon. And the additions that I've made have got me that one step closer to dropping the needle on my project VTE turntable, which you can see there just behind my head. That way I can shut my eyes and bask in the glory of vinyl sound. I have some new speakers. Those white things you can see behind me, they are the Dirac Spectre 1s, which are about the cutest little speakers I think I've ever seen. And for a price tag of £160, they are really, really lovely things and really well built. Typical Dirac speakers really in a lot of regards. Look at that driver. You can tell straight away that's the Dirac driver, just one that's come out of the wash and been shrunk and miniaturized. They are sitting on top of some ISO acoustics, ISO 130 kind of studio monitor stands really, which are designed with ISO acoustics isolation technology built in. You can angle them up, which means that the grooves of the vinyl will be able to hit my ears totally unencumbered. I also have an amplifier. I have the Blue Aura V40, which is a really nice amplifier, which I remembered being really small, but when I put it up on my desktop, it's actually quite a beast up on there. That's a tube-based hybrid amplifier. I'm really excited to fire the system up for the first time. I just need to clean my vinyl. Until I've cleaned my vinyl, there's no way I'll be playing them. So I've got that to do, but I am a really, really busy guy, so you just have to bear with me. So let's crack on with the news, and I'm going to start with some sad news. I had a press release come through a couple of days ago about the company Mitchell & Johnson, which is a relatively new hi-fi company that was trying to do things in a really good way. They was trying to manufacture all their products here in the UK and create really good value, high quality products for lots of audiophiles. And the sad news is, unfortunately, they closed their doors this week, which is a shame after 7 years of successful trading, but it really is indicative of, it's indicative of the problems of Brexit. That's a UK problem, but it's also indicative, I think, of just how tough the actual overall market is out there. And I think we all need to bear that in mind, and I think we all need to support our local hi-fi retailer, because our local hi-fi retailer supports our favourite hi-fi manufacturer. Our favourite hi-fi manufacturer supports your favourite hi-fi reviewer, and your favourite hi-fi reviewer supports you with fantastic content and obviously the best quality advice. In all seriousness, this is not a laughing or a joking matter. I do feel for the guys at Mitchell & Johnson. I want to wish them all the best for their next business venture. I'm sure they'll be back, and I want to wish all the best for all their staff. And anything like this I think is really sad news. We want this industry to flourish. We want this industry to be here, next year, in 10 years and in 20 years, and any news like this really is sad to hear. Moving on with some other sad news. I saw somewhere in the press that Adele is filing for divorce. On a positive note, that means she'll have plenty of material to moan about for her next album or two. So there's obviously a positive to come out of that. And I also thought, now Adele is single, there's a chance for you to make a move. And I'm sure she'll be impressed if you start talking to her about the differences of digital cables and skin effect in power cables. That's definitely the way to woo Adele. Moving on to some home cinema news. This one is more exciting. I saw on the What Hi-Fi website that ARCAM out at the CEDIA Expo had announced some new home cinema products. They have a whole range of new AV receivers, an AV processor, power amplifiers and stereo amplifiers. ARCAM's new AV line is sporting their new look, the new chassis look, which I like the screen. I like the fact they've updated the screen. I think the products were in desperate need of that, but do I love the look of the rest of it? Oh, it's a hard one, isn't it? It's a tough one to say. There are 3 new AV receivers in the line, the AVR 10, the AVR 20 and the AVR 30. Interesting price tags, starting at about £2,000 and going up to £5,000 with the flagship AVR 30. So what do we get for our £5,000? Well, a lot of familiar stuff. We get 7 channels only, yep, 7 channels of 100 watts Class G amplification. Sounds very familiar, doesn't it, to the AVR 850, but we get 16 channels of processing. So what does 16 channels allow for? Well, it allows for a 9.1.6 system, so 6 Atmos speakers and 9 base layer speakers. All 3 of the new models get Dirac Live. We've obviously come to expect that, and I'm glad ARCAM have kept that going. And new to these AV receivers is Bluetooth connectivity and Google Chromecast, both of which are built in. The AVR 10 and the AVR 20 both only have 12 channels of processing, which is pretty similar to the 390 and 550 outgoing models. I'm struggling to see the difference there between the outgoing models and these new models. Maybe there's something that I'm missing, but it seems like really we're getting more of a chassis facelift than we are anything new and exciting in those models. But I'll withhold judgment until I know more. Accompanying the AV receivers, as I mentioned, is a surround sound processor and a 7-channel power amplifier. And I had to rewrite the script for this video as of today. Had I made this video yesterday, as I originally planned, I would have been feeding out the complete wrong information. I went hunting for more information about the ARCAM PA720 7-channel power amplifier, and I went on the Sound and Vision website and read their article. And I was just about to come on and make a video when I saw a new article go up on StereoNet UK with some new and different details. Originally I thought the ARCAM PA720 power amplifier was going to be a 7-channel Class AB power amplifier, which looked to me like all they've done is bring out the P777 power amplifier. It even looked like it, and I was really disappointed with that, because I thought there must be loads and loads of customers dying and crying out for a multi-channel Class G amplifier from ARCAM. Well, the news changed as of today. The PA720 is a 7-channel Class G power amplifier with 140 watts per channel. Hurrah for ARCAM, and actually well done to ARCAM, because that is what people have been asking for. That is what the customers really want. Another thing that they really want, which could get some of the existing AVR 850 customers upgrading to the new AVR 30, and the others actually thinking about it, is if you can dedicate the amplifier channels to whatever channel you want. So in theory, you could use the inbuilt 7 channels to power your 6 Atmos speakers, and then you could use an external amplifier or 2 to power your main bass 5, 7 or 9 speakers. It'd be interesting to see whether ARCAM have done that. If they have, that will answer the prayers for a lot of their customers, and that would be enough to see a lot of them upgrade, I think, from the outgoing models, the 390, 550 and 850, up to these new models. But in my heart of hearts, I just can't imagine it. I can't see ARCAM doing that, but we'll see what comes through. What are your thoughts? What do you think of these new AVRs? Are you excited for them? I know the existing model's been around for a few years, but if it's not broke, don't fix it. I can see why ARCAM have brought these new models out. They have to keep up. There's been lots of other manufacturers bringing out big processors and big AV receivers with loads of channels, and if the competition's doing it, they have to do it as well, through fear of falling behind. Sticking with home cinema, KEF have just released a new subwoofer, one they're saying will do down to 11 hertz from dual 9-inch bass drivers. The KEF KF92 is a 1000 watt subwoofer with dual opposed 9-inch bass drivers, which have been borrowed from the R series, made from a combination of aluminium and paper. Having dual opposed drivers, yeah, that definitely gets my attention, because there are obvious technical benefits for using this driver configuration in a subwoofer. Each of the drivers gets 500 watts each. By all accounts, there's some clever DSP going on here, which is there to improve sound quality, and I'm sure squeeze more bass extension out of what is essentially about a foot by foot, or a foot cubed box. So not a massive box. There's some technologies borrowed from KEF's wireless series, the KEF LS50W and the LSX. I think to do with the cooling of the internal amplifiers. So that technology has been borrowed and put into this subwoofer. And KEF are claiming 110 dB for SPL output. And as I say, -3 decibels, they're saying in-room response of 11 hertz. The reason I pulled that funny face is because I've measured a lot of subwoofers in my time, and some big arse subwoofers, and it's not many of them get down anywhere near to 11 hertz at a really usable output. So again, I'm going to reserve judgment until maybe I get to see it. If KEF have been able to pull that off, then that's some seriously amazing engineering. So that's about it for this week's hot hi-fi and AV news. Don't forget, get stuck in, leave your comments down below. What do you think to these new ARCAM AVR products? Have they got you excited? Are you going to be upgraded? Are you interested in that 7-channel power amplifier from ARCAM? I can actually see that probably being a bigger seller than these new AVR products. I'm sure there'll be a lot of video and audio files that will be really keen on one of those to match up with their existing products. So they'll probably have a winner on their hands there, ARCAM. And are you interested in this KEF subwoofer? Before I leave, I want to finish this video really, I suppose, where I started. With the sad news of company Mitchell & Johnson having to close its doors, it just made me think and really appreciate just what we have. I'm massively in admiration for everybody who works in this industry across the world, who gets up every day motivated to bring us new, better, more interesting, more exciting, more elaborate hi-fi and AV designs. All of you out there have my thanks and my gratitude, because the industry is definitely changing and times are definitely changing. And the last thing on God's earth any of us want is for this industry to dwindle and dwindle and dwindle into nothing. We want the complete opposite. We want this industry to flourish. It needs us as enthusiasts, to support these companies. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody in the industry. I really appreciate everything that you're doing for us. So I hope you've enjoyed episode 3 of Hot AV and Hi-Fi News. I'll be back next week for another episode, and I've got some really cracking videos coming for you soon. Don't forget, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. We really appreciate that support. Make sure you go and visit the website. Really need you to do that and continue to support the channel. It really helps. And I'll be seeing you soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.